this is Healthy Food Place, my healthy food place, where we share ideas and recipes on how you can stay healthy naturally. I'm your host, Grace Enemali is my name. So today I want to talk about managing stomach ulcer as a senior, or whether for seniors as a senior. But what I am simply saying is how older adults, those in their 60s, late 50s, early 60s, mid 60s, how they can manage stomach ulcers. This category of people also come up with stomach ulcers. And why am I talking about it? There are too many questions on the subject. And then besides that, I had stomach ulcer too, several years ago. And I've been healed and remained healed naturally. And so that qualifies me to talk about it. And so it is some of the things, lifestyles, food choices we should be making in order to, stay healthy without depending on all those mix mark, something mark, all those things they normally give to us then. Or actually, they weren't helping. But because of our mind, we normally think that they were helping, because the white thing is just to cover the wound temporarily. And then to give you a small relief, temporary relief, sort of, so that you feel better. Because when the pain comes, you'll be jittering, shaking. When the tension comes, that comes with the ulcer, the anxiety feeling and everything will be so strong that you will be feeling uncontrollable. So anything like food or anything that can calm it down, you're ready to go for it. So that is why those things, we are taking them, but they have very bad side effects, like reducing the bone mineral density. Many of us are not even aware of this, but that's not the subject for today. I want to share top foods that you should be avoiding or reduce their consumption. First of all, I will share a few of them. I already did a video on it, but I want to also focus majorly on foods that you can be consuming in order for you not to have those ulcers again or have them fully come back. Because a lot of people believe that the ulcer never goes away rather. But it's a wound. Once it's healed, it's healed. But if you go back to those lifestyles that brought it about, it's going to, start like it's coming back. Already said we should reduce caffeinated teas as older adults. A lot of us love taking tea, black tea. Some of us, we don't even know the name of the tea that we are taking, because it's low in calorie. We love it. Because when we are getting to this age we are talking about, we are always wanting to take something liquid, something light, and all that, because the body doesn't seem to have so much capacity to carry high calorie food. So we want to be drinking this, drinking that. It's good to drink a lot of fluid, whether tea or whatever, but you need to be careful because of caffeine in some of these teas. And not only caffeine, there are also other substances that can trigger the stomach ulcer. Apart from other substances, generally teas are not nutrition dense in nutrition. So at this age, we should focus on more dense foods. And so number one is to reduce the teas. Coffee, if you're a lover of coffee, I spoke very highly in favor of coffee in some of my videos, but there are still that ugly side that it's a stressor. Not only being a stressor, it has high content of caffeine, which can trigger a stomach ulcer or even make an existing one worse. And so That is not to say that we should abandon it. We can still occasionally, when there is need, because it has its own, very strong health benefits, take it. We need to also be aware of too much spice in our foods. We need to be aware of spice, because too much spice, spicy food could start eroding the delicate walls of our intestine. And so, not to take our time, let's quickly look at those of you that are coming, you are welcome. And I want you to comment if you step into this place, this life. So, one of the foods that we should be consuming for stomach ulcers, both as a healing food and for preventive measures, is unripe plantain. Some people, you don't have to wait until the ulcer comes and you start running and they say, eat it raw, eat the bark, eat the peels. Because in those days, we were told, there was nothing we were told to eat. But I wasn't really enjoying the stuff of eating the plantain raw, eating it, blend it and eat it raw. It wouldn't come to that. The only thing you have to do as a senior is occasionally remember to include. Okay, thank you, Kereke, you're welcome. Remember to include occasional plantain. I spoke about it, against it, in one of my videos, because I always say each one does have its own positive, beautiful and ugly side. And so for the seniors like us, occasionally, that's how we should take on. Yes, if you abandon it completely for too long, you may start having those feelings. And I tell you something, there are times when I live off unripe plantain for really a delicious food, if you ask me. Yes, because delicious food, like maybe bananas, all of that. But once in a while, I feel that I need it. I need to take it. So I go and get it. Because when you feel that your mucous membrane is very tender, and any little thing is like you want to have that feeling. Remember, it's a source of B6. Well, I don't know how to explain that B6, but all those times when a door is locked and our body tends to jerk, lack of B6 can cause that. And you can get that in unripe plantain. So it helps to maintain that balance in the older adult. Occasionally, don't take it too much. Then another food that we need to start taking, if you are not a lover of it, is okra. Yes, to prevent stomach ulcer or to heal existing one. I didn't used to like okra soup, honestly speaking. All those draw soup, ewedu okra. But I am forced to eat it now. It's one of the soup I didn't used to like. But whether you like that food or not, as long as you know it has benefits for your health, as a senior, you must find a way to incorporate it into your diet. You may not be taking it too frequently, but you need to include it in your diet. Foods like okra is very, very good for older adults because it helps control cholesterol too. Yes, it can help control blood sugar too. These are other benefits, but that additionally, it helps to, that mucilage, that thing that looks slippery, it helps to cover the delicate intestinal walls, not like a protection. And it stays slightly longer, despite that it is dense in nutrients, being a source of magnesium, calcium, and a lot of other nutrients. So, okra is good. If you know that you have had ulcer before, you want to stay healed, or you don't even want it at all. That's number 2. The next one is okra is beneficial for blood sugar too, as we said, for weight loss, for beautiful skin, and for several things. But there is another food which many of us are not in love with. Well, no, I won't say in love with. Those who love salads, they will love it. But it's not a very common or conventional food. That's cabbage. Cabbage is not a conventional food for most of us that are brought up here. Unless you are brought up somewhere outside the country or a place where they normally make salad and eat it. But if you are not a salad children like us, some of us when we are growing up, when we are given salad, we tend to it, because most times we tend to like only the things that we are taught to eat. So we just don't like it. But over time, as we continue seeing people eating it and they're loving it, we also developed likeness for it and began to eat it. Cabbage is a source of vitamin K. It helps to reduce fat. It's an alkaline veggie and it helps to heal stomach ulcers. Sometimes some ulcers are caused by excess acidity. Cabbage and carrot, for instance, if you can do it together, fine, but because of blood sugar, because two of them are quite high in sugar, and that's why I thought to do this live, because sometimes some people are confused, or you just go and take plenty of it, say you read it somewhere online that the thing is good for ulcer, and by the time you now take two of it, blend it, a glass of it, maybe the person who shared the message may be somebody of 30-35 years. That person may not have known how it feels like managing blood sugar, or someone in his or her 60s. And so the person could just say, blend together. They could sometimes they even add additional sweetness like bananas and the rest of it, without considering the implication on the older adult and seniors like us. And so I normally suggest that you include it in your diet moderately. Maybe when you're cooking foods like rice, you can add it as a vegetable, pair it with other vegetables like with tomatoes and the rest. And then you can also take it occasionally raw on an empty stomach. I do. Occasionally when you feel that, there are some acids in your body. We can't run away, we can't totally be free. As long as we are eating food on a daily basis, acids are coming out. And so when you think there are too many acids, especially when the belly is beginning to look like it's protruding, we just be eating. And you may start including cabbage. It alkalines the body with carrots in small amount. What I do most times now is I just take one middle-sized carrot. But before I do that, I go and take either cloves and chew after water therapy, because clove reduces blood sugar. So after chewing the cloves, I'll now chew carrot very well. Then after chewing the carrot, I'll take a little less cabbage. That's whenever I want to take it. After taking the cabbage, I'll now go and chew groundnut or cashew nut. That's just my own thought of way of making sure that there's no rushing in my blood sugar. My blood because of the sugar. Could just eat it. But when there is more fat in the mix with the carrot and the cabbage, just mix with it. No, not blending it together. I normally eat it separately. Just immediately I finish, I put it on top of it. So before I start to go down, I send in the groundnut or the cashew nut like a binder. So that binding is expected. That's my own thought. I didn't do any scientific study for it. And it's not everything we need to. So I didn't have to start researching, but it's something that I do test on myself and it works. It works. Because anybody in the 60s or 65, just blend a glass of carrot and cabbage juice. It doesn't matter whether you're diabetic or not. The sugar in it may overwhelm your body and you start having other symptoms. So we should always be mindful of the sugar, our blood pressure, and the rest of it. And so that's the carrot and cabbage. Let's talk about okra. Then all the leafy greens are good for you. If you can take it on a daily basis, very good, especially towards the evening, because they are healing foods that help to alkaline the body also and help to mop up yeast. Some of them that are dead, they need something to drag them out. Green vegetables are very, very good for alkalining our body and occurrence of ulcers, especially blood thickeners like moringa. Very, very good. Once in a while, remember it's a blood thickener. And I said it, let me remind us, if you take too much of blood thickeners like moringa, you will soon start feeling like high blood pressure. Your blood pressure is pushing. because it's too much, it's too loaded in nutrition. And sometimes you don't even, your body don't need some of those nutrients. That it's too loaded, talking of moringa leaves. And so sometimes when you just start, maybe you heard so much about the moringa leaves and its benefits, and you may not know that your body may not be in need of some of these nutrients, and you just go and blend it or use it in making your soup or use it and start eating, and maybe the first day you may feel good. That's always the case. The second day you may feel good. It makes you to sleep very well. In fact, those sleeping and wake up midnight, it won't happen if you are taking moringa. Because anytime I normally don't take it for, frequently, it's not on my regular, but anytime I take it and start enjoying it, I take it like that. I'll sleep and wake up and sleep immediately. But that sleeping, and that is the experience of a lot of people, but that one that you sleep and wake up by 1 or 2, many of you know what I'm talking. You not sleep again. Sleep has finished. The serotonin is finished. Nothing again. You'll be awake till daybreak. It won't happen if you take moringa moderately, moringa leaves. So it will help to, heal. Because remember that sleep itself is medicine. Most times when this ulcer want to start, it starts by taking away sleep from our eyes. We start keeping awake and we don't know that acids are building up, or maybe we are even awake because of too much acid in the body. And the surprising thing about this thing is that most times we start avoiding lemon juice. And please, if you are avoiding lemon juice for too long as an older adult because you think you have ulcer, you may need to go for a proper check, because it's an alkaline juice for older adults to help alkaline the body and reduce the incidences of such things. But if you are having pains of ulcer, I'm not saying you should go for it that time. No, you don't have to. That moment you are having the pain, the attack, it's not the time to go for ginger. It's not time to go for lemon juice. It's not time to go for lime juice. But once you are okay, mildly okay, you make sure you find a way to incorporate it, because it's a cellular food. It helps to go down to the cells, the lemon juice, and help to, remove toxins. So, it stances the removal of toxins, and then alkalining of the body, and clean off some bacteria also, killing off yeast, most importantly. Yeast, what we call yeast. When there is yeast overgrowth, it affects everything. And sometimes we say, we mistake it for stomach ulcers. Then another food that we should occasionally also take is fermented millet. Many of us are already familiar with my idea about millet and how it affects us. But definitely speaking, you don't need to take too much of any grain for seniors, for healing of. There are some that are taking pap. White pap is not a remedy for stomach ulcer for seniors, because it's not only acidic, it doesn't have protein. I know some people who still believe that it's white pap or whatever they need. But what you need to heal is protein. And that's why the choice of millet, fermenting your food occasionally. Whether you go for foods like yogurt is another food. I'm coming to that. If you get a good yogurt, once in a while, include it. You may not have time to, prepare your own fermentation. If you have a good yogurt with probiotics, once in a while, get it and take it, because of the protein, quantity and quality also. It's digestibility, easy to digest, and not only that, helping you to manage, and apart from healing ulcers, to prevent the onset of ulcer in the first place, because it's a protein. Protein is the building block. When people are avoiding things that can help them to heal, and then start taking pap, because I remember in those days, ignorant people were telling us to take white pap. Nothing we didn't try. Some say drink it raw. Some people are still in that ignorance now. They say just mix the white pap, because everybody When you are in pain or when you are in trouble, everybody becomes a doctor. Anything they tell you, you go for it because you don't even know what to do. So they say, go and mix white pap and drink. White pap may cool you down, the hotness, but it's not a healing food. It doesn't have the protein that your body needs to heal a wound. Yes, it doesn't have it. And if it doesn't have it, what it will eventually drop behind will be an acid. It may be coming at the moment when you use it, but after some time, it is acid that it will eventually turn to and make you to begin to add weight. If you are looking for a good carbohydrate that you can take moderately but not too much, is sweet potatoes. If you have purple potatoes, it's good for stomach ulcer too. But don't take it because of the nutrient density. It's a good source of vitamin A. Not only is it good for stomach, it's good for managing blood pressure and even diabetes. Why? Because of its dense nutrition. High content of vitamin A. Vitamin A is needed as an antioxidant to help to heal the stomach ulcer. Another food that also helps is eggs, boiled eggs. It's very, very good. And surprisingly, this is also part of the food that the seniors and the older adults are avoiding. Boiled egg is high in vitamin A. It's a source of complete protein. With complete amino acids, and then that will help you to be healed. And so seniors should include boiled egg occasionally in the week. I don't want to say every day because it's what I do that I teach. I do take it every day before sometimes, but now that I'm in this new age now, I'm about to step into this new age, I don't take it every day again because of the high cholesterol. And not only that, because of the hormones coming from the chickens. Because most times they inject the chickens a lot to produce mass production of eggs. It's not that the eggs are organic. Yeah, the eggs are not organic. That's just the part of the concern. And so they are not organic. So by the time you are taking the part of the hormones that they use for commercial purpose to get more eggs without having our health and our well-being in mind. And so it is for that reason, for other heart issues and the rest of it, that I take it maybe 3-4 times in a week. And sometimes I just take half. And then sourcing for other sources like chia seeds. Chia seed, using it to interchange. Chia seed is good. It may look rough. When I say rough, some people are asking, is chia seed good for ulcer? Yes, for older adults it's good. Because it's a source of protein, it's a source of calcium, it's a source of a lot of nutrients that you need for healing. It's a healing food. It's good for your liver too. And so, because it looks rough, you need to soak it. Some people don't chew it like granules. Because some people are in the... I've heard some people say they were chewing it before they met me. Actually, if you chew it, I was a learner at one time because we all learn at one time or the other. So if you chew, it's going to be irritating your chest because when you soak the chia seed, it rises. So that space for rising is taken care of when you soak it. So all the rising will be done outside and not inside your heart, inside your chest, that you chew it like granules. And then when it mixes with fluid in your body, it started rising and you start coughing. That's the effect that it used to have. And then digestion is not always very sweet. So chia seed is a good one. Additionally, it reduces blood sugar. Yes, reduces blood sugar. When you are having proper nutrition, being very, very careful with what you eat and making sure you get sufficient daily protein, it is difficult for stomach ulcer to come back as a senior. That is it. But what I have found out in our diet is that there's too much carbohydrates. Sometimes you'll be looking for what to eat. It looks like there's almost nothing. You check this one starch, this one sugar, this one starch. So like if you want, that's why a lot of people resort to beans. They eat beans, and even when the body is saying it's okay, beans is good also. Black-eyed cowpea in moderation, but in your 60s, you will discover that it is giving you too much gas. You know what I'm saying? It's giving you gas. So you wouldn't want to be eating something that is giving you gas too much. Because when it's giving you gas, your body is simply telling you that this thing is not easy for me to digest again. So you need to take it little, or as a matter of fact, honestly, the way I'm going with it, I pray I don't take it out totally, because when you are getting to this age, your body don't want all those gas forming foods too much. Some of us that likes yam. Yam is also not a healing food for stomach ulcer. It spikes your sugar. It's inflammatory. I need to clarify this. It's not part of the list of good foods, but I think maybe somebody needs to hear it too. Because I know a lot of people that they can do anything because of yam. They love yam a lot. So even when they are coughing and having other health issues, they don't seem to care whether it's whether yam is contributing to the experience they're going through or not. They just feel okay that they are enjoying yam as often as they want, whether as pounded yam, as porridge, or whichever. Sweet potato is a better choice. And the next food I'm eating these days also is that root cassava vegetable that is edible. It's very good also for managing stomach ulcers. It's good for energy. It's good as a source of calcium and vitamin A. That's my interest. And when you take it, it carries you for longer. And not only that, it tastes good. You just taste as if you are eating your normal yam. The only difference is that it does not spike your sugar when taken in moderation. It's good for prostate health, for those that are managing prostate. But for women or other people in their 50s or 60s, you can take it. It's a better carbohydrate than yam. It doesn't spike your sugar. For the stomach ulcer, it doesn't cause stomach ulcer. It's a sort of vitamin A, calcium. And these are critical nutrients when you are talking of healing, apart from the protein that you need as a building block. So you need to, watch out for these foods that I have mentioned, and then include your garlic. Yes, a lot of people are asking, are we going to with garlic? No, garlic is a healing food. If you have any wound in your stomach or outside your body, and you are eating garlic continuous, raw garlic for like a week, you may not need an antibiotics. Let me not make an outright statement. You may actually not need an antibiotic. I've seen it happen several times. You may actually not need that. If you consistently take about 2 or 3 cloves on empty stomach, for a period of 7 days or 8 days, after your water therapy, with other healthy living foods, and then maybe proper hygiene on the wound, you're going to definitely be healed. It's a healing food for stomach ulcer. Let me emphasize it. It's a better healing food for stomach ulcer also when you compare it to some other spices like alligator pepper. Alligator pepper is not even it's even no-go area. I've taken it occasionally. It's good, for digestive aid, for pain, and a lot of things, but don't go there. Just once in a while, it helps to fight off bad breath. I'm talking of alligator pepper. Those that have bad breath, but if you keep chewing it, it's going to erode the delicate walls of your intestine. And over time, you start saying you have ulcer, or the ulcer that had come back again. So we need to include this food, remembering that the foods that we used in healing ulcer when we were 30, 35, 40s cannot work for us. A good number of them may not be Okay, like bananas. Imagine somebody who's a diabetic. I've seen people who say they are both diabetic, they have high blood pressure, they have stomach ulcer. So how do you do it? So you have to remove the sweet, reduce the sweetness or the sweet foods, and then add more healthy options that will not spike your blood sugar, so that you will not have have that start having that symptom of stomach ulcer. So, my dear, you need to remember that water therapy, when you don't take sufficient water, it can also create environment for the ulcer to come back. Yes, or to even take off. It's not something that you have to be worried about. When we are at this age, you need to be more careful with proper ensuring that you get sufficient protein every day, proper nutrition. Because when you are avoiding a lot. Now, before I round up finally, there is one food that is good for us, but many of us have been avoiding it, and that is beef. I know this may shock some people. Yes, it may surprise some of you. Why am I saying it? You don't have to take the fatty side. You don't need to cook it, not to cook it lightly cooked. You need to be selective on the part of the beef. And if it is possible, don't swallow the flesh. Use it to cook soup. Eat the soup, but you may not chew the meat, as to say you want to eat the meat and then chew everything. Try it and you will notice how you feel, how complete. I've heard some people say it. I've tried it. Your sleep will be so deep and you will feel so strong. Why? Because the real beef does not really have much fat or cholesterol when compared to foods that are high in cholesterol, like egg. So if we get it and can dry it, that's what I even intend to do now. I mean, the coming years, coming months or thereabout, to dry it. Dry the meat very well. Get the beef, get it well dried. Remove all the moisture from the body. And then add it. Start adding it to soup. When you add it, you may decide not to eat the meat. But the nutrient that come out of the meat will have mixed with the soup. It will help you to heal all those wounds, all those ulcers, and to maintain a healthy body. So, I do not intend to stay too long. You can make your comment. Besides that, we should be rounding up. I have talked about the yogurt and the eggs and the rest of it. All the common foods we normally eat on a daily basis. And what about rice? Yes, some people may ask that question. Yes, white rice is not really good because of its acid forming. It's easy to digest though, especially the polished rice. But the unpolished rice is good. I said that in an earlier video. If you can get offered the rice moderately, it's a sort of big group of vitamins and small amount of, not just that, it doesn't produce gas. So most of the food that give the stomach problem at this our age are those food that when you eat it, it start giving you gas. It starts to produce gas. And when it's causing you gas, the belly gets like bloated. So the belly gets like bloated and you start feeling uncomfortable. You start feeling like your body is too heavy, the stomach is too heavy and all of that. And such foods are not the best for older adults. And that is why we should focus more on green vegetables. Foods like what's it called? Foods like okra. We should focus more on green vegetables. Ewedu. I just added sweet potato leaves. Are you aware that it's a healing food for ulcers? Now, if you are not aware, go and try it. Either the purple potato or the white potato. If you have it, or see where you can get it. Get it get those tender tip of it, those tender side, wash it and put it in your stew or your soup, whichever soup, and see how you will sleep that night. You see, it has a lot of nutrients. And when you wash it, you need to wash it with warm water. It seems to it has some high level of oxalates. I'm the one thinking so, because food that contain those things that are not so good for the kidney, they normally have, that's the way they smell when you don't wash it. You don't wash it with warm water. That's the way they smell. Their flavor used to be very strong. So that's why I normally wash it with warm water, boiled water first. But once you add water to, because it's a very tender vegetable, it looks like it's slippery, like very, very slippery. So I make the water warm, and after making the water warm, I use salt and wash it. And I don't use much. I don't use much, because such food that are good like that, it's not good to use much. And sometimes when you put much, the flavor of the vegetable will be tasting it in the food, and most of us, we don't like it. It's not usually good. We feel that even in the older adults, they are not educated, but when they eat a vegetable like that, you know what they do? They use hot warm water and wash it with salt to reduce they don't know what to call it, but they know there's something in that plant that the body doesn't really like much of it. So to reduce it, they use warm water, smash it like they are washing bitter leaf, put small salt, rinse it, then before they put it inside the soup. Another vegetable that is high like that is this vegetable that efforiro. Yes, they use it in cooking soup. I used to like that soup very, very much. It's one of my very much loved vegetable. But over time, I noticed that when I eat it, it looks like it has weight. Yes, that's why I said that we, the older adults, should select our vegetables when we are getting to this point. We should just eat all the vegetables. Vegetables like bitter leaf is good. You could cook it then with cocoyam and other things, but you can't eat that food again at this age. You can't be using cocoyam to be thickening your soup, even though it's good for stomach ulcers. Bitter foods in moderation occasionally, especially food that. But then you can no longer be cooking your bitter leaf with you can no longer be cooking it with cocoyam, which is heavy. But we used to eat it then, and we were enjoying it. Especially those from my own side of the southeast. We like it a lot. But honestly, I don't do that anymore. I don't eat it. And any of you that you are in this age group, you will like it. And so I tried cooking it with water leaf, and it was good. I'm talking of the bitter leaf for stomach ulcer people. That water leaf is also one of the very good vegetables that you should be taking if you want to heal stomach ulcers, you want to remain healed. And then it's very easy to digest, and it tackles constipation, and it's rich in nutrients. So I tried cooking it with bitter leaf, and it was good. But I saw somebody who commented here on this YouTube that they don't normally eat it with any other thing. They cook it with they cook bitter leaf alone, and they use they cook bitter leaf alone and use all those cocoyam and the stuff. Yes, that is the essence of this life, because there are some of these foods that we are enjoying while growing up, but as you grow up, your body can no longer contain the calorie, the weight that is added. Naturally, bitter leaf is a very low calorie vegetable. It's great for your kidney health too, great for liver health. But when you now add the cocoyam that we normally add then to make it thick, remember that after adding the cocoyam for the thickness, you will see add red palm oil, adding to the calorie. Then after adding the red palm oil, you add meat and the rest of it. Then you will see use starch, that is something like cassava or whichever carbohydrates you want to use to eat you can see the weight. you wouldn't feel this weight as a younger person, but for older adults and for seniors, they definitely will feel the food is heavy. Foods like banga soup, this stew they normally make using what is it called, palm fruit. Yes, it's palm fruit. It used to be very nice then, but I don't take it anymore. It's not food for stomach ulcer too, because stomach ulcer doesn't like weight, something that is very heavy. It doesn't like it. And those who have gone through the stomach ulcer, they always are not comfortable with food that are heavy. I have seen some occasions where someone else consumed the food and is enjoying it, and when I consume it, I felt it's heavy. And that's the case with a good number of us. When you see the food, you just look at it. The food is nice, people are eating it, enjoying it. But you yourself, when you go to take it, you only discover that the food is very heavy on you. Because the thickness of your stomach walls may not be the same with the other person. Yes, it varies, because antibiotics and some of the medications we're taking has eroded it. And apart from that, some of us were not eating sufficient fermented food to continue to replenish or support our digestive health. And so occasionally, let's include fermented foods and all of this, and then make it, a habit to only eat natural foods. Stay away from the processed food or the carbonated drinks, because if you have survived stomach ulcer, you need to stay, and you don't want it back. You need to stay away from all those packet food, all those artificial taste enhancer, bouillon cubes to add to your stew, all those bottled vegetable oils. They put fine labels in the market, and then you buy it, and then it has fine flavor, but they are creating enabling environment for stomach ulcers. That's exactly what I'm saying. They're creating an enabling environment for the stomach ulcer to come back, or even if there was none, for it to start to kickstart. So you don't have to, just leave yourself and just take anything that comes. You need to check the effect it's going to have on you, especially those who have survived stomach ulcer, because at this age, the food we are eating is limited. We are not eating all that stuff we were eating before. And so the one we are going to eat must be dense. It must be don't just be comfortable with tea, like you normally take before. It's not going to work out, because you need nutrients, you need protein and all of that to help you to heal. So that's it. I need you to comment if you have any question.